Hello scribes! I've got merch now. So today is kind of going to be a little vlog just about what's been going on with me. I wanted to kind of catch you up on some things that I've been doing because I realized that I don't really talk about myself quite that often. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things I've been up to the last few months, truly with my writing. Oh, I'm sorry. Is my mug in the way? And if you'd like to be a verified writer, you can be one too. I now have my Etsy shop up and running, and I'm super excited. And by the way, there's more. I also have really cool tank tops in the store or on shirts that say Future Best Script. And I am going to have much more for authors, novel writers. It's gonna be so great. I've been having like way too much fun making graphics after work. It also has some filmmaker stuff, so if you're a filmmaker, go ahead and check out my store where I do have a little section. You can check them out online and see for yourself. So today I just wanted to kind of fill you in on things that I've been doing while I make videos for you. I'm usually writing also. And I have been working on a very long-term project. Manuscript. It's my first book that I've ever sort of finally written and gotten out, and it's based off of a concept that I've had since, gosh, 2005? I was in high school when I made the concept. 2006 maybe. I finally completed it in 2014 as a script, and then I decided that it was quite terrible and I was going to rewrite it as a book in 2019, so that was my NaNoWriMo project. It was my first NaNoWriMo, and it was my first concept that I've really been passionate about fixing and getting it onto paper, so I then decided to rewrite it from literally the ground up. So a complete and total rewrite, basically just keeping the bones of everything. And I did a whole revise last year during Camp Nano, or right before Camp Nano, because I thought I was going to write it for Camp Nano, and I didn't quite do it. So I revised it completely from the outline format, and I was ready to go ahead and go into my rewrites for camp, but that didn't quite work out the way that I wanted. I sent out my first chapter to see if it was better than my first chapter, or at least the first iteration of TSOY, because I had done quite a lot of work to really revise it. Oh boy, I got a lot of good feedback, don't get me wrong. But that feedback actually made me realize so much that I really wanted to change this next pass. So I just couldn't start writing it. Of course, what happened? I continued to sort of work on the outline, and I worked on a whole bunch of other stuff, including rewriting a short film of mine called Glass Monster. Bounced back to my manuscript. I got really stuck. I got totally stuck. I realized I was writing a new adult while calling it a YA. And I wanted it to be a true YA. I made a ton of adjustments, like a ton. And that was gonna really help me fit it into the YA space instead. But of course with that change comes quite a lot of restructuring. So a lot of my scenes didn't work anymore because I'd written them for collegiates, not for high school students. The first act of my book, I had to go back and restructure it, rewrite it. I thought, 2021 NaNoWriMo, heck yeah, I've got this. Well, that didn't go as planned. Because of all the changes that I made, I was super blocked. I had a ton of performance anxiety. I thought, what am I trying to do? Am I even supposed to be writing YA? Does the story work for YA? Of course it did, but does it work for YA? Do the themes align with YA? There was a lot to consider, and just so you know, that's why I highly recommend you make sure when you're writing a genre or you're writing a certain type of story, you just know it inside out, because it has to really fit into these categories that you give it. Because if you want to go into publishing later, you have to be able to tell them what it is and who it's for, and you also have to make sure that your writing suits that space. And coming from screenwriting, going into novel writing, let me just tell you that novel writers are very serious about these categories. Like, very serious about these. Like, very serious. So I did a lot of work, did a lot of research, and then I got stuck on the research because I, of course, really wanted to make this about a violinist. And when you're writing about a violinist, and you're not quite a violinist yourself, which, okay, wait, hold on. Not a violinist, but my very first script / very first story that I stuck with, which was TSOY, was surrounding a girl who plays violin. She wants to be an orchestral player, and so what happened? Well, my dear boyfriend bought me this violin years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. I can kind of play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's not going to be perfect tonally, but I can do it. I learned how to play Despacito. Not really the jump you want to go to from Twinkle Twinkle to Despacito, but my mom requested it for her birthday and I didn't want to disappoint, so I gave it to her a year after the birthday she requested it for. Yeah, but I did get through it. And I probably don't remember how to play it, but I am gonna try to learn how to play Hedwig's theme, so. Okay, so in 2014, I finished writing it as a script. It was my first ever completed script. In 2019, it was the first novel I sat down to actually complete, and I completed it within a month, the first draft, or zero draft, if you will. Now fast forward back to now. I hit writer's block real bad. I hit a total wall. I couldn't get through any of my scenes. I didn't feel like anything was right. I didn't feel like the things that I added to YA made it YA enough. I was just second guessing myself too much. And because I was second guessing myself so much, what ended up happening was I just didn't write. So for most of the month, I didn't do anything. I sort of milled around and tried to rewrite things and tried to look back at anything that I'd fixed in my outline, and I tried to outline again, and nothing was helping. Absolutely nothing. So what I did was, once I hit December, I took a little bit of a break. I thought that I was gonna get through it by then, but I still struggled so hard to get through it. Well, January rolled around and still nothing. February is here, and I was in a story analysis class, which I love, and it gave me this really cool format that was so simple. I mean, super simple. I use 3-act structures that are much more complicated and have all the juicy bits in between, all the beats that I need to hit. But for some reason, I was starting to understand stories so well by taking this class that I was able to, and was forced to basically, identify certain parts of the 3-act structure within a movie. I can write in exactly those plot points, and that would be my main plot for the book. It would sort of iron it back out. Since those plot points also weave in together with story, which is your character arc, along with the plot points, I realized that this was probably going to be the easiest way for me to go back through everything. That's what I did. So right now I went through 8 of my chapters. Really good, really solid with them. I actually made the improvements and rewrote them, and I'm feeling really good. I have a deadline of the end of March to finish this next rewrite. My goal for the year is to finish TSOY. My goal for last year was actually to finish TSOY. So wish me luck, and I'll check back in with you as I keep going. I'm really excited about the progress that I'm making. It's slow going, kind of. It took me a while to really get out of my head because of how I felt about it and how passionate and strongly I feel about TSOY. So much so that, I mean, I started to learn how to play violin for it, so... Well, that's it for today. I've got to get back to writing because I'm on a deadline. I will see you all on the next one, scribes.